what then you said was a venture with some sort of touring aircraft that you had then. How have the plans altered? And this being your farewell tour, are you satisfied with what you've derived from performing at this point?
I'm satisfied with it, yeah. I never expected to get that much out of it when I first started anyway. I've got more out of it than I thought I would. I didn't enjoy it when I first started, but I've got used to it now. It's quite fun now.
Were you surprised at the reception that you've had? I remember talking to you in February and you saying that at one point you went on stage, was it in Edinburgh or somewhere in Scotland?
Glasgow.
Yeah, when you that was sort of the catalyst when you realized, geez, this can sure get pretty wacky.
Yeah, that was the first one. That was what made it. It's when you realise what you've done, when you're actually in front of the people, you see what you've done.
How about, in a sense, do you have any regrets about coming off the road, given the fact that now people are depending on you? Is that kind of hard to turn your back on?
I don't think people are depending on me. Not really.
Not to perform? Not to come to present your music to them?
I don't think they depend upon it, no. Not like they do food. They depend on food, not me. I'm just an added attraction, I think. And there's plenty of others. It's a regret. I think most people that I've had letters from have been very nice about it and wished me luck. One or two have been rather silly. And said that I'm deserting the fans and they made me and all that sort of rubbish. It's a very silly attitude to take, mainly from the young ones I've been getting it.
And how about the people with whom you take on the road? Do you feel any kind of obligation to them?
No.
Not at all.
Why?
Okay, no, I find
they're going on. When we finish, they're going to stay as a band, apart from Paul, who's going to stop as well. And they're going to go on and carry on touring. They like touring. I don't particularly feel that I have to keep doing anything for the sake of others, as much as I don't ever feel that anyone else has ever done anything for the sake of me. I don't think it's being selfish at all. It'd be very silly for me to go on and tour year after year, hating the very thought of it, and forgetting everything else I ever wanted to do, just because I got 5 other musicians that may want to keep touring.
And it is surprising how many performers end up doing that. I mean, they create this big...
They get stuck in their own little trap, yeah.
So you want to remove yourself. I understand you want to progress towards a career involving video somehow.
Yeah.
You know, the explanations I've seen in print so far have been kind of sketchy. Do you have an idea really, and can you define what it is you want to do within video?
Yeah, exactly. The first thing I'm doing at the moment is setting up video libraries. The first one is in London in our school. You're about to get from those conventional films, rock concerts, information films like managerial courses, how to fly an aeroplane, how to drive a car, how to play instruments, information films, safety films, anything you would want to get.
And the public will have access?
Yeah, but it's a library, so they hire it.
I see.
For the same as you would hire a book. And within that, what I'm going to be doing basically to start with is short plays, collections of plays. So there'll be 10 plays to a cassette, each one about 5 or 10 minutes long, and there'll be a section for that too. And maybe the old classic plays, I'll get actors in and do those too. I just bought 25% of a studio and a video studio, so I've got all the facilities there that I want to do it.
What about yourself? Apart from your involvement when setting up the library, will there be will you still be performing for video, or will you be getting away from performing entirely and managing this, overseeing it?
Initially, I perform in it because it's easy, get it off the ground. Only for a short while, for maybe a year. And then, I'll step to the background. This is like the beginning of the phasing out period, so I can just fade down and go to the background again.
So you will be probably still releasing recordings of some sort?
Yeah, there's another 2 albums planned. After that, I'm not sure. I want it to become a hobby again, instead of a job. And so when it does become a hobby, I simply write when I want to, as most people do hobbies.
We often get calls and letters from people watching the program who, of course, want to get involved in the music business, want to start off, and end up with fabulous rock and roll careers. This is not something I think that you'd recommend to anyone, is that true?
Oh, I would, yeah. It's great. It really is great, yeah. I've enjoyed every minute of it. When I first got famous, I was very cynical of it, because I really wasn't used to it. It wasn't what I expected, so I simply, over the last year, I've got used to it now, to what is involved in it, and I really enjoy it. Yeah, it's now more of almost a game. The things that were cynical of before, I now can laugh at and smile at.
Like what? The star-making machinery?
No, the people around it. Yeah, I think they're really funny. Yeah.
How about the toll it takes? Well,
lack of privacy is the worst thing. That's all. You have to worry a little bit about your property getting damaged by fans on some hand and non-fans on the other. But that's the only problems, really.
Is it still your intention to be able to walk down the street without people clawing at you at some point in your life? Can you do that now?
Oh no. Oh well, it depends where I am. Depends what time of day it is too. I can go down some streets. Depends what country I'm into.
Of course. You said before Telecon came out that you were still tinkering with the mixture of keyboards and guitars on your works, and that your earlier work had been far too guitar oriented for your liking, and now you would progress to keyboard work. But Telecon still is heavily keyboard oriented.
Oh, I don't know. I thought Pleasure Principle was it was all keyboards. That's what I had against that one. And so with Telecon I tried to bring guitars back more. I like it actually, I think it works.
There are lead guitars on it, and
there's no solos on it, but then I'm not a great solo fan anyway.
Are you still writing on your out-of-tune piano?
Yeah, still got it, same one. I have to get a new one day.
No, if it doesn't go down, you'll probably put it in some Hall of Fame or...
No, I'll put it up in the loft.
What about Simple Minds? You never did get to produce?
No, I met them, but the timing didn't quite link up. They wanted to do it in July, which wasn't really convenient for me. I was doing something else, and I was still doing tours. I was like touring the Far East at that time. They'd done some things on my album, some handclaps. They visited us one day, yeah. But no, they went back to John Leckie again. I think is it John Leckie?
Yes, it was. Yeah. Is it still your intention to produce them at some point?
I wouldn't mind. I'm not worried really.
How about Jabriath? Have you found him yet?
No, I haven't looked. I'm going to look when I get to New York, see what he's doing. I don't know if he was based in New York even. But still, good place to start.
What about other people you want to work with? You worked this time here with Robert Palmer.
Yeah.
Recently collaborated on a couple of tunes, which, given his recent concert here, stood out as being quite incredible departures. Was he apprehensive about it?
No, he was all for it actually. I was a little bit apprehensive. I wasn't quite sure what to let myself in for. I never could see him change in the way he did really. He really is far more than I've ever done.
I know if I had to pick 20 musicians, I thought would ever work with you, Robert Palmer would not have been among them.
No.
He was sort of unusual in that respect.
I think it worked very well though. I think it's the best album he's done for a long time. Not my particular thing on it, what he's done with it himself is great. He's got like a little spark of an idea and taking it all over the place. It's good.
Another performer who's been able to combine some sort of a career with video and recording is Rundgren. He's got his own studio outside of Woodstock.
Yeah, apparently.
And done that. What would be the mixture now? I mean, if say we're talking about 1981 or 82 right now, will you spend a certain amount of time recording and producing, or is it just going to be, very spontaneous?
Yeah, no, it'd be mainly video. Everything that I'm doing from now on is connected with video, and then if I get spare time, I'll do music. I'm looking forward. I enjoy the touring, I enjoyed the British tour, and I'm looking forward to doing this one. But I'll be glad when it's finished. Then I can do. I'm just looking forward to getting on with it. It's like a project which is just sitting there waiting.
And what about your aircraft?
Oh, that's when I'm 28. So what's that? 5.5 years to go yet.
How can you plan out your life that far ahead?
Well, it's easy. I don't know. Just planned it. Well, why not? You plan what you're going to do the next day, don't you?
That's 5 years.
Well, 10 years when I've done it. Yeah, it wasn't that hard. I don't see the problem. I think if more people sat down and thought about what they wanted to do a bit more, and some people I think about what they want to do and they think it's impossible and so they don't even try. And so I've got 3 impossible things to try for now. I've done one, I've got 2 more to go. And if you don't do it, it gives you something to aim for and it gives you a reason for getting up. There's not really much reasons for getting up, is there?
True enough, but 5 years down the road,